Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I am spiritual medium Kellee White, and also I'm a psychotherapist. And welcome to Ask Me Anything. Today is August 3rd, 2023. And let me say hi to some people. Hi, Mrs. Shy Pinot. I like that, Mrs. Shy. From the UK. Hi, Aurora. That's a great name. Hi, Trey. Hi, Angela. Hand pink waving. I love it. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Dolly. Hi, Sue Wells. Hi, Earth Angel. Very sweet. Thanks. Hi, Ann Rogers. Hi, Vicky. That was my good friend. Hi, Chris from Las Vegas. Great. Hi, England. Oh, hi, Renee. Hi, Joy. She says, I would love for you to choose a card for me. At times I struggle with a lack of patience. I can tell you why. May 19th, that would be a first clue for that. There are some of those dates that are a little impatient. And May 19th, it happens to be one of them. But we'll talk about that. Hi, Martha. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Julie. Hi, Lee. Hi, everybody. Oh, hi, Lori LeClaire. Hope you're doing well, honey. She says hi to you too, Renee. So I thought before I get into the astrology, because there is a lot going on, and I'm going to answer as many questions as I can today, but I wanted to address first people that will be going on the cruise with us. And the reason I wanted to start there is I've had a lot of people write emails to me, and they've been concerned about they're anxious about traveling. You know, maybe they haven't traveled in a long time, or they've never been on a cruise, or they don't know what to expect. And it's going to be really fun, really exciting. You're going to learn so much about yourself and your life and spiritually. It's going to be an extraordinary trip with James, and it's going to be amazing. And I'll be there. So if you have any questions, of course, you can always find me. I'm easy to spot, as my daughter would say. Just look for the hair. And Tammy is going to be there. Tammy Hendricks is going to be there. She's wonderful. And she's, I was just telling Renee, I'm telling you, if you're in a crisis, she's great for that. Crisis management. And also Janelle Campbell will be there. Wonderful medium from Australia. So there's a lot of us that'll be there to help you if you get, anxious, or we can help you try to find the directions. James and I have been on this exact ship. This will be our 5th time on this exact ship. So not that I can remember where everything is, but I'll have a good idea about it. So anyway, I just want to keep everybody calm, because it's going to be a trip of a lifetime and lots of fun. And if you need any help, all you have to do is reach out. Okay. So I just wanted to say that first. And I'm going to start with this one, Joy. I'm going to talk about this because lack of patience. Oh, wait a minute. Before I go there, I'm going to do astrology. So I got involved in that question, though, but I just want to do this. May 19th is a King of Clubs. So Joy, and it's funny, the dates that I always am looking at would be May 16, 17, 18, 19. And these dates are pretty powerful because they're always, every year they come along with this star that is all about creativity and music and patience. And I would say, and you're a King of Clubs, honey, so Joy, so King of Clubs, a male brain, and as a female, you've got a male brain. And just watch the patience. I mean, if it's something that you struggle with, then guess what? Those are going to be the kind of things that come into your life to deal with, So there you go. Anyway, let's talk about astrology too before I get into everything. This is quite a month. August is quite a month. And I wrote about this on my website, kelleewhite.com. But let's just talk about the next few days here, because again, I get a lot of emails about the kind of energy that's going on right now. Now, I titled this when I wrote this as an emotional time. August brings a lot of emotion to it. And I'm going to say that the theme in August here revolves around health and well-being for a good reason, because Mars enters Virgo about August 18th or so. And so you want to remember that you want to keep your immune system up as the best that you can. You want to take really good care of yourself. Now, don't forget, we've got Chiron retrograde. Chiron is the wounded healer, and that's all about going inward and dealing with your things, whatever is holding you up in life or whatever wound needs to be healed. Okay, this also is a month that makes us look at our relationships, love and relationships. Are you in a loving relationship? Be really honest with who you're with and what you're doing in a relationship. This also month has to do with world leaders. So we're going to see a lot of world leadership will probably, and I would say leaders in different fields will take a lot of attention this month. So this is going to be a very interesting month here that we have this month of August. And beginning tomorrow on August 4th till about the 8th, Venus, which is the planet of love, relationships, and finance, is retrograde, and it's in Gandanta. So Gandanta is that edge between fire and water, fire sign and a water sign, and this is Leo and Cancer. And I'm talking Vedic astrology here. So this energy between August 4th and August 8th can be destabilizing. So people might feel more emotional, more anxious. It's an emotional intensity. Okay. This also can bring a lot of floods and storms. And so just know that it does pass. So if you're somebody that's an empath and really sensitive to energy, this next few days I would say is more intense for energy. And on August 6th, Jupiter, the planet of wisdom and expansion, it actually squares the sun. So the sun represents individuality and vitality. And so this kind of squaring brings up, how do I say this? It brings a lot of opportunities and obstacles. So it might screw with your self-confidence. And also at the same time, if you can bust through this day particularly, it can bring a lot of personal growth, and it can also expand your vision. So I would say look at every opportunity. Don't think good, bad, or whatever. Just look at every opportunity as a time to grow, because this week is about a lot of growth here for everybody. And on August 7th, Venus actually, which is still retrograde, goes into Cancer. And when that happens, it's very emotional. Again, emotional. Cancer is emotions. And Venus, when it goes into Cancer, it will be looking at relationships again. So if you already, and it could be just relationships with friends, with loved ones, with family, could be any of those. And you really want to start looking at people in your life through the lens of compassion and wisdom. And as I always say, when I'm working with somebody, I like to look at where they are emotionally. Are they in kindergarten? Are they in, getting their PhD? I'm always curious where somebody is in their spiritual wisdom and in their emotions. So this also, it's interesting too this week. It brings a lot of appreciation for beauty. And so that is part of this week. It's going to be an interesting mix this week, and everybody will have their own experiences, but it's going to be kind of a very interesting week. And on August 9th, Uranus, which is the planet of surprise, it squares Venus at 29 degrees. And that can bring some sudden shifts in romantic dynamics, in unexpected encounters is what it could happen during this. So I think the next few days are going to be, put your seatbelt on, as I always say, because this is these are some choppy waters, actually, but they also can bring huge growth. So I want everybody to think of it as, wow, I learned a lot, next I learned a lot. So just kind of think like that. Okay. So I hope that helps for the next few days. And here we go. So let me answer some questions here. Lori Counts, I'm getting my master's degree. No, honey, I disagree. You're getting your PhD. Okay. You're getting your PhD, Lori. I know I work with a lot of people here, and I know where their growth is. You're getting your PhD. So, and it takes a lot when that happens, I love this. Linda Cool says, I love the gladiolas. Oh, thank you. I love gladiolas. I always think of my mother and Dawn's mother. They both have this thing for gladiolas. And every time I see them, I have to have them. I just love them. Okay. Sherry Abdu, she says, feeling an inner steering with no clarity. A mini reading, please. February 2nd. Thank you for your generous heart and wisdom. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. That somebody else mentioned those two words to me today. So that's very sweet of you, Sherry. Thank you. Okay, so February 2, your birthday is 10 of spades. So you're a 10 of spades. February 2nd is a 10 of spades. And 10 of spades usually, Sherry, are pretty unshakable. So if you're feeling an inner steering inside, I would say, go inward. This is a great time to go inward and ask what it is that you need. Ask yourself. You're very intuitive. 10 of spades, wildly intuitive. They can go through anything. So I would definitely go inward, honey. It's a great time for that. Okay. So, and here's a question, and this one's from Carrie East. So Carrie, I'm going to read this question. She said, I had a starseed reading with you several months ago, and it was really valuable to me. So I do starseed readings for people if they feel that they're not from around here, they feel different or something, they just know they're connected to stars, or they're just feeling different about who they are as a soul. I often will recommend a starseed reading. And so I work with the soul and kind of help them figure out, navigate where they're from. So she said, you provided insights and proof that have been validated and benefited me in more ways than I have time to list. Oh, thank you. She said, I'm forever grateful. Thank you. She said, do you recommend books specifically for starseeds, especially, she says, the Lyran origin? I do. I do have a book for that. And the book I have for that is called, and if you're listening, I hope you can write this down. It's called The Prism, Prism of Lyra, Lyra. And what that is, and it's a really interesting book, The Prism of Lyra, it's an exploration of human galactic heritage. So it really goes back to many, many starseeds and different generations of starseeds. And it's really fascinating. It was one of the first books I ever read of this type. And it is interesting, isn't it, that right now on the news, we're seeing a lot of information about UFOs and all kinds of things that are coming out now. It's just really kind of fascinating to me. I've been talking about this forever, so I'm glad to see it, frankly. I think it's really interesting. So Karen Rager, she says, hi, Kellee, can you explain to us about elementals? She said, I've heard good and bad about them, so not sure if we should welcome them or be a bit afraid of them. As always, thank you for your insights. Okay, so when I use the term elementals, I think of gnomes and fairies or nature spirits. They're nature spirits is, I guess, another word for them. And really what they do here is they lend their aid to human beings on Earth. And they are in the like you'll find them in gardens and on earth and in forests and in trees and in nature. You'll find them in nature. And I think that they are the most incredible souls because they help in so many ways. Now, they don't show themselves to everybody. I've seen, I think on 3 occasions, them. And I will say they exist, maybe more than that. They exist. And they help the world. So there's nothing to be afraid of at all. And if you're lucky enough, if you talk to them and nurture them, they respond in your garden, actually. Like if I really think about it, I know they had something to do with all of my my sunflowers. They had this whole thing on sunflowers from that in my house. And I just have a feeling that they would have had something to do with them. So thank you for asking that question, because I think that is a good one. Okay, so let's see here. I have some other okay. So Marlon Evie, she says, my birthday is 6/14. Any insights? Oh, you love gnomes. I'm so glad that you do. Whoever, can you put that up, Renee? Again, who? Judy. Oh, I love gnomes too. You know, they used to kind of like, just the thought of them was a little bit much for me. But I love them now. I have such respect for them. That's the thing. They have to have respect. Sounds like the most ridiculous thing I'm saying. Little gnomes, but they really exist and they will help you in your garden. In fact, I actually put some in my garden out in the patio deck, and I found some at like one of those little dollar stores. And I was like, "Ooh, those are kind of cool. I'm going to get them." I put them around the garden. My flowers, I have to tell you, have never done better. So I think there is something there. So, okay, Marla V, my birthday is 6/14. So June 14, which is a 3 of diamonds. So 3 of diamonds has a challenged life. 3 of diamonds, what I usually say, is the most challenged of lives. Now, there are many birth placements that are 3 of diamonds. It's not just June 14th, but there are others as well. September 8th is one off the top of my head. And there are, so 3 of diamonds often they have to take a spiritual road because in this lifetime, they're making up for a tremendous amount of karma. And so from abuse of power in a previous lifetime. And so in this lifetime, things will not seem fair. In fact, I remember another date is October 6th is another date. And things won't feel fair. They won't be fair. And yet, if you take that wisdom place of deep spirituality and wisdom, it is all balanced out there for you. So I hope that helps you. Hi, Judy Freeman. So okay, Mary Jo Beta. She says, I'm experiencing dinner family dynamics, which are getting confusing. January 28th, which is a Queen of Clubs. So Mary Jo, I'm experiencing dinner family dynamics. Is that kind of like like that show, The Bear? Is that like that kind of dynamic? Like a very intense dynamic? So January 28th is a Queen of Clubs, and the Queen of Clubs is somebody that can outthink, outknow, out-intuit pretty much everybody. They always are correct. So if you're feeling family dynamics, kind of sit back and observe. What I find with family dynamics, when all that shit goes on, I observe. I sit back and I observe. And sometimes it's like eating popcorn. You go, okay, and do not get triggered. Try not to get triggered, okay? Because I think that's a big one with that. I had another question I wanted to answer, this one, and this was a really interesting one to me. This is from Carol Wake. So Carol, I hope you're listening. She said her birthday is February 14th. So if you were born on Valentine's Day, you'd be a Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Diamonds is somebody that has youthful energy forever. I always call them like popping out of a cake. There's something, and also lots of intuition with the Jack of Diamonds. And a spiritual road would be something that you'd have to do. So here's her question. She says, if a person is a narcissist while they're on Earth, are they still narcissistic when they've passed? So I'm going to assume a mother, a father, or an ex person in your life has definitely been a narcissist. She said, is their soul or their earthly mind and behavior, is that what is narcissistic? So let's just discuss what a narcissistic personality disorder is. And it's a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. Okay. And we don't know if this is genetic, if it's environmental. It can be both. My teacher and mentor, Mavis Patilla, used to say the soul doesn't connect all the way into the body. Because you think, how is it that these people can have no empathy? How is that? So, and they have really, they have an excessive need for admiration, and they have a complete disregard for others. They have a complete inability to handle criticism, and they have that sense of entitlement. So that it's a tough one. So when they go to on the other side, they go exactly how they were here. So if they are that way here, they are that way there. And once on the other side, what will happen is they will do what's called a life review. So you've heard James and I talk about like many, many levels of heaven, many levels of the other side, layer upon layer, level upon level. You can only go so high if your thoughts are of a narcissistic bent, if you will. So you're not going to go any higher. You're going to have to deal with what did you experience while you were on Earth? How were you this way? Because you're going to do a life review. And that life review is going to be looked at through the eyes of everybody that you did harm to. And perhaps you would come back with your guides. They'd say, all right, you're going to make another trip there. And this time you're going to be the recipient of that and tell us how you think. I mean, I don't know, but I'm telling you, they have to learn. They have to learn. And so they're often what I refer to them as, again, I'm going to use the term baby souls. They're baby souls. They have to learn, and you're not going to get any further ahead until they learn. So, and here, as a therapist, we often believe that there is no cure for that here. I mean, it's no, I can't. It's really a hard one. You know, that narcissism is really hard. Now, we can say it goes from trauma, and I could use a lens of trauma, but often with a narcissist or any of the other personality disorders, if you give them all your blood, it will not be enough. And that's where you have to, and what I love about that situation is you set boundaries. Like you can see them coming. It's almost like it's pretty easy to see. You just pay attention. So anyway, I hope I answered that question there. Let's see. Okay, LB. Hi, dear Kellee. I just love you and James and Renee. Thank you. If possible, can I get a mini reading for your son, May 21? Oh, you bet, LB. So May 21, a lot of May birthdays. Interesting. Is a Jack of Clubs. So Jack of Clubs in a male, it's different. You're going to hear me talk about it in a female differently, but Jack of Clubs in a male they're very bright. Often, not often, but sometimes they have to think in the best thoughts. They have to have the best thoughts. They have to like really mature. And so it's all about, maturing them. A Jack of Clubs male particularly has to really grow up and become the king, if you will, instead of kind of staying as immature. They have to really grow up. So I hope that helps. Beth Ann Roberts, I last saw my son 2 years ago today. Oh, it's been a tough day. I feel him all the time and understand we chose that day. Can I get a mini reading? Yes, honey. And his birthday is 9/13. So September 13th is very spiritual time there. Queen of Clubs, or Jack of Clubs here. That's interesting. A lot of Jack of Clubs today. So let's get you a card here, honey, from your loved one, from your son. And yes, you would be, it is, I can imagine that it's a tough day, but we do choose our exit points. You think we do, but we do. I did a reading the other day for somebody, and this happened within 2 weeks. A celebrity who had died actually came through for both people. It was kind of interesting. And I was amazed that he had so many exit points in his life that he finally was his time. Anyway, let me get a card from your son. I always give you a good night kiss, Mom. So just know he's always there with you. Okay, honey? He's always there. And losing a child is the hardest life lesson, period. I think. Sam Meehan, she says, I've been struggling with the same issue for several years. I'm afraid I let my angels and guides down because I asked for help. I keep failing. May I please have a reading? Oh, honey, you're not going to let them down. It's not possible. It's not possible. Keep asking. So you're struggling. So maybe you need a therapist. Maybe they've tried to get you to a therapist, or maybe it's about, self-worth issues, and 6/1, June 1st, is a 3 of spades. 3 of spades is wildly creative and business. So business and creativity, it's a lot. Whenever I see the 6/1, that it's a heavy duty day. So you're probably feeling a little overwhelmed, honey. I would actually get a good therapist here. You're not failing anybody. Keep asking for help. You should hear me all the time. I'm a constant, I don't even know if the right word is nag. I'm always asking. I need help with this, help with that. Oh my gosh, the other day I got lost. So my phone broke and I had to go to the Verizon store and get a new phone. And the guy said, oh, it's only going to take 2 hours. I go, okay, because I have a very important appointment and I have to be there. It'll only take 2 hours. And he goes, yeah, it'll only take 2 hours. So I get there at the 2-hour mark, knowing I need to get directions to where I'm going on my phone. And the guy goes, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I'm like, you what? He goes, I made a mistake. It's going to be 3 more hours. I'm like, what? And I had no idea how to get, because, I don't know the town that I was going to. I don't really know Wisconsin. So I really don't know. And I had to be in Madison. I didn't know where I was. And I started praying. And I'm going to tell you, I was 15 minutes late to my appointment, but I was screaming at the angels, I need help. Help me. I'm going to get lost. I'm lost. Oh, I sounded like a moron in the car. No doubt about it. I didn't care. Anyway, guess what? They got me there. And they got me back to my phone. So, oh my gosh. Okay, Christy Oucher. She says, hi, Kellee. My husband is having aneurysm surgery on the 30th, and I'm having spinal surgery when he heals. Can we have a card, please? Yes. Let me get you a card from, I'm going to do the Power of Love here, okay? I'm going to do a card from the Power of Love. But let me just say this to both of you. This is the time to get that kind of surgery and healing, okay? All right, Christy, it all works out. But it does. Well, it will all work out. But this is the time to get this. So I get on the 30th, and you'll do it after that. It's perfect. Again, going back to get healing for yourself is everything. Tolerance. Here you go. So make sure you tolerate you appreciate other points of view, because you sense the love in everything. But I would say this has to do with tolerance for what you guys are going to be going through. Frankly, I would think it has more to do with that than anything. And just have a lot of patience. Okay, whenever we have to, last year, it's hard to believe it's almost been a year. I was in the hospital for weeks in August, actually. It started in August. And not only me, also Prajna Avalon. I mean, the healer, it was what a period of time. So, and things go fast. So it will happen. Okay, so don't even think of worrying about that. Okay. Here we go. Stephanie Keating Lego. She says, you are very knowledgeable and informative. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. I'm a 9/11 baby. Ooh, it's very special. I desperately need a reading or a message of any kind. I need to heal and move forward. But how do I do that? I really need my kids. So I'm not sure if you're not seeing your kids or what's happening with your children. I don't know about that. But a 9/11 baby is a special one, because that is a king of clubs. That day was a powerful day. I would say king of clubs and a female is a male. You have a male brain, Stephanie, which means if you focus it in, there is nobody that's going to, again, just like a queen of clubs, that's going to be more psychic than you are. Okay, more intuitive. So just remember I'm saying that. Get really grounded, okay, and start healing with yourself. This is the best time to start a healing. And it goes to self-love, because you probably have gone through an awful lot of things. And when you get to a certain point in life, you have already gone through a lot. So I would say definitely ground yourself and start doing that loving compassion for you. Sometimes we have to be our own mother and our own father. It just is the way some things work out. Okay. So just know that happens. Okay. So here's another question. So I had a lot of good questions here. So here's a question, and this is from Linda Kieran. She said, and her birthday is October 13th, and that means she's a 9 of clubs. 9 of clubs comes to for knowledge, a lot of knowledge, and to complete a soul cycle. And she says this question, will my son and I reunite? She said, we had a major falling out over 2 years ago. Now, I hear this from a lot of my people. And she said his birthday is January 23rd, which makes him a 4 of diamonds. So she said, so I just want to say this, Linda, to you about that relationship that you have with your son, that we call that particular kind of relationship that you came in with him, the battle of the wills, and it's for transformation. So I'm saying this to you, but it applies to other people, that if you haven't seen your loved one and your child, and there's a problem, just know that there's a lot of transformation going on. Okay. So just do a lot of work on yourself, Linda. Okay. Yes, you will reunite. Yes, you will reunite. Okay. That will definitely happen. Okay. Carolyn Miller Veltri. She said July 23rd. So July 23rd is her birthday. July 23rd is a 5 of clubs. Five of Clubs is about speaking their truth and freedom. Freedom is everything. She said, I would love to know about my mom. The way she passed has left me filled with grief. And it's so hard to know if she's come to me because I feel she has, but I don't know because you're traumatized and you're grieving. And that's a hard one. And you're missing her so much and you're struggling with grief. So I do grief counseling. If you want to have a session with me, just go to my site. I do a lot of that. Or go to David Kessler's site, which is grief.com. And it will really help. But let's get a card from your beloved mother. I know that she is definitely around you. And I know she doesn't want you to worry. And often, and I tell you, when my mom passed, it was all the above. Whatever, everything that you're saying was all the above for me. I can't even tell you. It was rough. It was extremely rough. And the grief was so much that I could not see her, feel her, sense her, period. And I'm a professional medium. I could not. I was, and I mean, for a year, 2 years, I was beside myself. The first year I was raging, mad, angry. That's one of the signs of grief, anger. It's a big one. And I know a lot of my people here are in it or know it. And then, and this deep sadness of the loss, but just know she's around you. Okay, Carolyn. Okay. Please know that. Please know that. I know. And she says, my mind is free. So she wants your mind to be free. Okay. Her mind is free. So she's not in any pain or suffering or any of that. Please know that. And she wants your mind to be free too. And she wants me to tell you how much she loves you. Pay attention to your dreams. Okay. Please pay attention to your dreams. Okay. Heather McRae, she says, my sister, whose birthday is 7/11, July 11, which is a 4 of diamonds. 4 of diamonds is also very spiritual and very, we call them Ford trucks. They take on a lot in this lifetime. So, and her husband passed in 2020. Well, let's get a card for them. Okay. Let's get this card here. Here we go. I am here helping you. So you make sure, Heather, that your sister knows that her husband is there helping her. Okay. Just know that, please, gosh, please. And Vicky, I know you're watching, Vicky. I want to get you a card from your beloved too. Okay, hold on a minute. I get a card here. Oh, this is for Vicky. This is for you, honey. From your beloved Michael. I see all of your thoughts. And let me tell you what, Vicky, you know he does. There are some loved ones on the other side that are so unbelievably powerful. They do some amazing things here. It's just amazing. And I never know, it just never know how that's going to work, but it's amazing to me. So Nancy Roper, she says, Reaper. Hi, Nancy. She said, hi, Kelly. You're the best part of my week. Yay. Thank you. Would like to know if my brother and mother, who are both passed, are aware of my niece's issues and can offer guidance. And you're March 14th. They are aware of it. They definitely would be aware of it. So when we have family difficulties, or issues, they absolutely know. And often they will impress you to find the right therapist or impress you to go see a medium or go get the help that you need. So yes, they are definitely, our loved ones are always aware of what's going on. But let's see this. And they say, remember us basically by the happy memories we created. So they will be working with you and hoping to create more happy memories. Okay. Just know this, Nancy. They do not leave us alone. And I have to say, I want to ask everybody, does anybody watch The Righteous Gemstones? Did anybody watch that? I just want to know if anybody watched it on HBO Max, whatever they call it now. The first season I loved. I thought it was so ridiculously over the top funny. Second season was just so over the top ridiculous that I was like, why am I even watching this? But I kind of just still liked it. And then the third season was like, oh my God, so over the top. What is my problem? Why am I still watching this? But I couldn't stop. And then the last one of season 3, because I believe the show is over now. And the very last show, the last one, the last second, and I can't tell you what happens, sorry, but you see a loved one from the other side looking at the family. And it hit me so hard because I know our loved ones on the other side, when they die, when an important person in your life dies, everybody's going to get destabilized. Everybody. All their crap's going to come out flying. You know, that's where lawyers come in often. But it's just a crazy ass time for families. And then it could take several years to get back together. It could take months. It could take whatever time it takes. But the loved ones on the other side never forsake us. They just don't. They are there experiencing us, watching what's going on and feeling it. And often they will send us. So somebody had asked me, do they, send, butterflies, they'll send feathers, they'll send birds, anything to get our attention. Okay. Often lights will flick off. Often if you take a picture, you might see an orb of them as well. And Patty Weeks is a wonderful person who's writing a book on orbs, and I cannot wait for her book to be finished, because when it is, I'm going to have her on. I know James and I want to have her on because her books, what she's doing with orbs is incredible. So Chris Brown, I'm failing in my love life. Divorced 4 times. Okay, Chris, very sad and emotional the last few days. Like a lot of people, I understand. Uncertain I will ever find my person. Will I find my person? Am I wasting my time dating? Okay, so here's the thing, honey. And you've been divorced 4 times. So here's what I would say. And I think you probably all know what I'm going to say here. Go into therapy. Go find the best thing you can do is to look inward at yourself, at your life, with a wonderful, loving, kind therapist that can help you look at your choices. Okay. Now, I know many people, including myself, that have been married and divorced. Okay. And these are all things that learning. It's all learning. So do not beat yourself up over that, but instead, I would definitely go into find a very good therapist. You can go to Psychology Today to find one. You can go to traumahealing.org if there was a lot of trauma there, which I can imagine that there it was. And 315, interesting enough, right? The Ides of March, March 15th, the Ides of March, is an 8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds, until they really learn self-love for themselves, they will continue to pick not well. And so all I'm saying, honey, is yes, you do come into to have a wonderful relationship. Totally. You will find your person. Totally. But you have to find you first. And that is key to everything. Okay? Everything. So Lori counts. Kelly, hi, Lori. She says, if a child's original due date was 11/23, but that child arrived on 11/23. So the original date was 11/23, and the child did arrive on 11/23. Does the soul choose that, and does that make a difference to that soul? So if whatever the date that, it doesn't matter what the original due date is, has no bearing on anything. Okay. I mean, my daughter was supposed to be born on September 8th. She was actually born October 3rd. I was almost 10 months pregnant, actually. And she needed to be born on that day. And so even if there's an emergency C-section, whatever it is that soul comes out, that is the time and date, the place that baby was supposed to be in. Okay, that is how that works. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the day was supposed to be this day, and then it came out this day, and then no, it doesn't matter. You have to view it in the lens of that soul chose that exact thing. The souls choose their name, their mother, their father, they choose everything. We choose before we come in. And you think, oh man, I'd never choose that. Not exactly, because you have to view everything from a bigger perspective. Okay, I hope that helps, Lori. 11/13 was the original due date. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter, Lori. It's as I was saying, just like with my daughter, the same thing. So there you go. Okay, Gloria Shear. Hi, Gloria. She said, I know Gloria. She said, hi, Kelly. My sister died in April. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gloria. And my other sister is so angry, and she's not dealing well with her passing. So you need a card for her. I have chills around 10/25. So 10/25. October 25 is a 10 of hearts. So 10 of hearts. Ten of Hearts, they don't like to lose anything because Ten of Hearts is here to learn all about them. And so God bless her. She would be learning a hard thing. So let's get a card from your beloved sister who passed. And I'm sorry, Gloria, I didn't realize that your sister had passed. I'm sorry about that. And we need to lose a sibling, I think, is the roughest thing that you can, one of the roughest things that you can go through, actually. And I'm sorry that your sister's so angry. You have to wonder what she's angry about. Oh, here's it says from your sister. It was my time to go. It was my time to go. So it's hard. It's hard to have loss like that, honey. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for all your loss there. So, okay. So Christine Salisbury. Hi, Kellee. Where did it go? 5/29 is my birthday. I am wondering if the stagecoach driver's father is also my grandfather's father. I don't think I understand the question. The stagecoach driver's father. I'm not sure what you mean by that, honey. I don't know what you mean. But you are a 3 of clubs, and I can tell you a 3 of clubs is very psychic. So I hope that that helps. I hope that helps. Okay, Janet Zara Witcher. I'm getting so excited to meet you in Alaska. Oh, thanks, Janet. It's going to be really fun, and it's really going to be great. A great trip for everybody that's going. It's going to be great. And then James and I'll come back and we'll tell you all about it. And I'm looking forward to meeting you too. And again, you can find me because my hair just sticks out, and that's how you'll find me. I have trouble with face recognition often, so I just do. So, some people say, I never forget a face. Not me. I immediately forget a face, but I always remember the soul. So that's the way I think. So please come up and find me and introduce yourself. And I'm telling this to everybody, okay? Because I think it's a big thing. And somebody asked me a question, and this was a good question. They said, thank Rachel Sears. Rachel Sears. Hi, Rachel. She says, not a question. Thanks for an amazing reading. Oh, thank you. Wishing you a fabulous cruise. Thank you. But somebody asked me, I have to find this. It was a great question. She said, how do I know that I'm going to have a good experience on the cruise or something like that? I wish I could find this. Darn it. Again, I can't find it, but it was like that. How do I know you're going to have a good experience? Because you just are. When you are in this space of like minds and so much, there's going to be meditation, there's going to be learning, there's going to be so much growth. It is life-changing. It'll be life-changing. So Elizabeth Andrade asked me, she said, what is a mercurial year? So, and it's an interesting question because first I thought, do you mean by Mercury? Because Mercury, a year in Mercury's time, I think is like 88 days, but I don't think that's what it is. So a mercurial year is when somebody is mercurial. They might have some sort of temperament problem, or they could be moody. So mercurial year would imply that there'd be a lot of changes, unexpected changes, all of a sudden changes, more erratic. So I hope that answers your question there with that kind of question. Vincy Sayers, she said, I lost 2 siblings in 12 years. I am sorry, Vincy. That's a lot. That is certainly a lot. So Ann Rogers, my dad changed my name on my mom when they had agreed on my name already. I wonder why he picked the name he gave me. I don't know, Ann, other than that would have been a name that you probably impressed upon them that came in. So there you go. Mary Snyder, my husband and I were married on March 15th, again, the Ides of March, and we were definitely made for each other. We had both been married and divorced for the same reason. We could never hurt each other. He passed 29 years ago. Oh my goodness. She said, I miss him every day. His birthday was 11/26. Could you tell me what that means? Yes, and let's get a card from him. 11/26 is 7 of Hearts. 7 of Hearts is all about sharing emotion, having emotions, and dealing with emotions. So I can imagine, oh, bless your heart. That's a long time. And when it's your time, Mary, he will be there for you. Let's get a card. He says, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. So if I were you, I'd be looking at unicorns or horses or things like that, just because I think he brings out the fun in you. Okay. That's what I think is happening here. So, Lynn Hero, I'm having hip replacement surgery on August 29th. Can I have a card? Yes. So good for you, Lynn, because that's a big surgery. And I've had, everybody I know has had 1 or 2 hip replacements. So it'll be perfect. It'll be easy, and it'll be the best thing ever because you'll feel like $1,000,000 after that. Okay. And you're a king of clubs. So you just use your God-given intuition. You've got a male brain in there. You can outthink anybody. And I would really be doing a lot of, before it, I would be doing a lot of talking to my hip and telling my body how great it's going to be, and how wonderful and how easy it's going to be. Okay. I think that is important here that you do that. Okay. So let's see. I have some other questions here that I wanted to know. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question. This is from Karen Abercrombie. Hi, Karen. Her birthday is October 17, and October 17th is a 5 of clubs. And 5 of clubs is all about freedom, actually. She said, my mother-in-law has terminal cancer, and now she has dementia on top. She said, so why do people seem to suffer more before they die as others go quickly? I can't see what's got to be gained by going slowly. You're missing the whole picture then, Karen. It's making the process so much more difficult for you and your husband. I'm sure it is. But here's the thing. The soul chooses that. So the soul will learn so much. And you're thinking, but how's that possible? She's got dementia. She's got cancer. The soul's karmic path, which is what you wouldn't be taking into consideration. Perhaps karmically, she really did need to have this experience. Now, for you guys, it would be all about patience, and more patience. And that's how that works there, because it's a deeply soul growth situation that you have on your hands. And I have a lot of people that have that similar situation, honey. So sorry, but it is for the growth of everybody, frankly. Okay, Elise Frazier. She says, hi, Elise. She says, August 27th. My close friend died suddenly 3 weeks ago. How difficult is that, Elise? That's awful. I'm so sorry. And you are August 27th. Queen of Hearts. Oh, you bless your heart. I didn't get to say goodbye to her. Okay, so is my oldest son going to find financial success? Yes, he will. Let him do his thing, okay? But as far as your best friend goes, and when this happens, when a close friend dies suddenly and you don't know, that's how the soul wanted to go out, okay? Please know that. It is beautiful where I am. She says, it is beautiful where I am. So I just want you to remember that. It's beautiful where I am. And it is. It's amazing. So Michelle King, any messages from my brother, Scotty, who was born 58 years ago today? He died tragically at 3 years old on Father's Day. She said, I was only 1. Well, Michelle, first of all, that is a hard one. Your poor family. And that is a really rough one. That would have been a planned event. And your brother will be, and has always been your guide, always been a guide for you, and your mother and father, always. And that would have changed the whole trajectory of the family. And it would have made, and he died on Father's Day. I mean, the trauma there would have been great. And the spiritual growth would probably have been huge there with that. And I'm sorry, Michelle, that's a big one, but let's get a card. Oh, interesting. I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. So just know he's only 3. So and you were only 1, but just know how much he loves you. Okay. And the family loves, and he's not alone. He's with your parents, I believe, on the other side. Cause I heard that. Okay. Okay. Christian Topel, Christian. Kristen. That's a good name. Happy Thursday. My birthday is December 2nd. December 2nd is a 3 of diamonds. So 3 of diamonds, again, hardest placement, I believe. There are some other ones, but this is one of the biggest hard placements. So it means that you have no choice. You have to take a spiritual path. That's it. I mean, every road would be, you'd spend a lot of time in meditation, a lot of time. Well, first of all, let me say this. 3 of diamonds, wildly creative. Often they're musicians. Often they do something in the arts. They're very creative here. And it's a growth. This is a card for growth in this lifetime. Okay, there you go. Lana Fletcher, 1217, anything for me. Have fun on the cruise. And I will, Lana. Thank you for that. I plan on having a very fun time. Okay, 1217, and that's an Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs comes to do this. They come to not have a straight line path. You know, some people will have the same job for like 100 years. That's not an Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs comes to learn this. Okay, then they learned it. Then they're going to do this. Okay, then they learn that. Then they're going to do this. Often they come for knowledge and to learn. So I hope that helps you. Okay, I hope that helps. So Heather Champlin Pike, she said, my due date was February 18th, and I was born on March 20th. So a month later, yeah. My son never really had a due date, PCOS. So I didn't know my real last period. I chose for my son to be born February 18th, and he was. Why do you think that happened like that? Well, it was an agreed upon, it's a great story. It's an agreed upon event. So he came in that day. I think that's fantastic. And that's the day he wanted to be in. But it's a great story. Seven of Diamonds. Seven of Diamonds must take a spiritual path. Always. They call that the millionaire card. They call it the person that can make a ton of money as long as they take a spiritual path. So that's very, very important. Debbie Smith, my 55th birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday. Can you please pull a card for me? Going through a major life change. Yes. So let me tell you about 55. 55, anytime you see, let's say you see 555s or I don't know, 55, or it's 5:55 p.m. or on a license plate you see 555. Fives represent change. And so at 55, our lives start to have major change in them. And August 2nd, which was yesterday, is a Jack of Diamonds. And a Jack of Diamonds has a long life, which has plenty of energy to start something new. So I'm going to pull a card out for you. And these are James's cards, and these are called the Power of Love. And I love these cards, Power of Love. And let's get a card for you. Unity. You understand that the love shared with another is amplified and has a ripple effect across the universe. So whatever you do, do it through love and through unity, and bring yourself some peace as you go through this big life change. Big life changes are bump ups in our vibration and in the experiences that we're going to have. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay. Hi, Renee Hounsel. Please, Kellee, is it possible a crystal's energy can actually not work with our energy? Yes, that's correct. Yes, that is. I have tried a few times to work with rose quartz, and they keep cracking in curious ways after I've held them. So your vibration would be rising, especially with love, Renee, because the rose quartz are love and relationships, and you're probably you're expanding so much that either you need to get real grounded and start talking to the crystal about love, maybe. Because it has to do with that. But your vibration, honey, is getting more and more and more. And I had that problem with amethyst. I hold them in my hand and they would crack. I had a real problem with amethyst. And until my energy got to the vibration that I was headed to, I think, is the way to say it. And I don't have that problem anymore. But because it's interesting, a rose quartz, which is so, kind and loving, but it is, don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as my vibration is getting higher. And maybe it's time you need major pieces. I think that would be it. Okay, Mary Snyder, you'll definitely will have a good experience on the cruise. I went on 7 cruises with James, and they are amazing, right, Mary? I would be going on this one, but I was just diagnosed with multiple myeloma and just started chemo today. Oh, Mary. Well, we wish you the best of healing here for you, okay? And yes, thank you for what you're saying. And also really, from the bottom of my heart, get some great treatment there, okay? I think that's going to be very important here. Here we go. I love this. Janice Freeman, she says, I just moved to our forever home on the lake. I'm watching and feeding the ducks and the birds and the squirrels and the hummingbirds. Isn't that fun? Can I have a card for the future? Full moon's gorgeous for here. You know, I live in a place like that too, Jim. We don't have a lake, but the rest of the stuff we have. And I just love it. I love it. Love watching it. No, I already pulled that one. Sorry about that. That was a repeat card. Sorry about that. Purpose. You possess the determination and dedication to consciously demonstrate love. There you go. So consciously demonstrate love all the time here. Oh, Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. Very informative. I think I appreciate that very much. And I did a hold on, who was this? Somebody wrote me this and it was really sweet. She said that whatever the information I gave her really helped. Oh, well, this one's interesting. This is from Cards and Coffee. She said, after listening to all of your insights with the destiny cards, I looked up my family, my closest friends in my family. She said, every single person I have a good relationship is with a diamond. And she said, I'm talking about 10 people. She says, those I don't have a good relationship would either be a club or a spade. Is this a coincidence or is there a correlation? No, there's a correlation. There's a correlation. And you're April 6th, which is 2 of spades. So no, there's a correlation because sometimes all diamond people get along because they come in for values. Now, also the same thing, I could look at this question, and this is from Sherry Hinger. And she says, my husband and I, and on my 2 boys, or all my boys, are all clubs of the club suit. And she said, what does that mean? And it means there'd be a lot of communication because clubs are about learning and communication. And the house would be constantly going with all kinds of things. Where diamonds are different. Diamond people have often will have the same value system. So that's why, honey, that's why it works this way. So I always think it's interesting too. First thing I want to know is what somebody's birthday is so I can kind of figure out, what's going on with them. I think that's important. So anyway, and what else? Okay. Farina Castro Peters. There are many ace of spades in my family, and I'm a 6 of diamonds. Anything I can do. So ace of spades is all about choosing between the mundane world and the spiritual world. And ace of spades, really, if you have a lot of them in a family, that's like a heavy duty energy. 6 of diamonds is about financial responsibility and balance and beauty. Often sports has a lot to do with sports, ironically. But so you would be the one person that would probably lighten the energy, I would think. So I think that's a really good thing. So everybody, James and I are going to be doing a show Monday night live, and we're going to be talking about wisdom from heaven. Actually, we're going to talk about the wisdom from heaven. It's going to be an amazing show. And I will not be back next week. I'm sorry, but we're going to have some repeats on while I'm gone. And because I'm leaving and I'll be headed to James, and then we're going to be on a cruise. So I won't be back till close to the end of August. And I believe Carissa put out my September calendar. So will be available for sessions in September. And I think I'm completely booked until I get back. But James and I will be posting on our sites, a lot of pictures of the cruise and things like that. So everybody take care of yourself. Please join James and me on Monday night for Both Sides Now and Beyond, and have a great week. Take care.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.